Hey guys, it's Jake and Juju here with another video for you from NSB Woodsman channel. Today we are going to be making a miniature alcohol stove so that we can use it to make smaller cups of water, to boil smaller cups of water. So things like cups of coffee and hot chocolate, so we don't have to use quite as much fuel for boiling water at temperatures we don't need. So stay tuned, we'll get that started. Alright guys, so here's my cook kit, and let me show you what we are going to be making today. We are going to be making a miniature version of the Fancy Feast tomato can stove with the carbon felt right there. So it's 3 pieces that make up the stove, and today we're going to be making one about half this size, and I'm going to show you how I do it. Stay tuned. So here are the 3 pieces. This piece is made from a tomato paste can, and as you can see I just cut off the bottom and punched a couple of holes around the edge, and I'll show you what that's for here in a little bit. The second piece is this carbon felt. It's welder's felt is another name for it, and we'll need a strip of that for this. Of course, the one we're going to be making is going to be about probably half this width. So I'm just showing you this as an example. And then the last piece is a cat food can, a Fancy Feast can. However, I don't have a cat, and I don't really have anybody nearby that has a cat. And I don't like wasting food, even if it is cat food. So what I found to work as a substitute for this are these little guys. You can find these basically at the dollar store or in the tuna section at your grocery store. This just happens to be chicken salad. I happen to like this one a little better. But when you get inside here, find some crackers, and voila! Essentially your Fancy Feast can. Except for its chicken salad. So I'm going to enjoy this little snackaroo, and then I'm going to empty out into a container, you know, the tomato paste to save for later. My wife can use that for the next meal we use tomato paste for. Stick that in the fridge. So stay tuned. I'm going to clean these things out and be right back. Cheers. Okay guys, here's the deal with the tuna can, or the chicken salad can. And I don't know if the Fancy Feast can has this, but here's the situation, you see? This one has like this inner lip that goes around it. See that? And in order to make it like this, you see, you have to remove that inner lip. Now if you have a very good can opener, it's a very easy task. I do not have a very good can opener, so this will be a little bit more difficult for me. Hopefully it's not for you. So if you guys are like me and all you have is a terrible can opener, here's how I'm doing this. Here's my can opener. I've already got it started here. You see that? All I'm doing is I'm positioning it right up against this edge as close as I can, so that I get as much of this inner lip off as possible. Get it right up next to the edge, and you see I've already got it started a little bit here. Oh, I'm blocking it with the light. On this side it's already begun. I get it right up next to where that line ends, and I just reset it, and it makes it very easy to just get, you have to just go a little bit at a time. There's the last one, see that? Bam. So if you don't have a good can opener, it can be done with a bad one. You just have to use it more like scissors. I did not do a very good job cleaning that guy out the first time around. There was a lot cut under that lip. So I'm going to clean this out now, being very careful of this edge right here. And we're going to get some file and sanding work to that so that we don't cut ourselves later. Stay tuned. So I'm just going to take a minute here and clean up the inside of both of my edges, just so that I don't cut myself when I'm working on them. This one in particular, I didn't get quite see those snags there. Yeah, when I was trying to clean this out, I almost cut myself. So got this little file. If you don't have one of these, you could just take a spoon and press down and just rotate, spend a little bit more time doing it. But I'm just gonna kind of go through and make sure that these lips are really good and pressed down so that I don't really hurt myself. I'm just gonna roll it right over. Just spend a minute doing that for both of them. Check back in with you. Alright guys, so the next thing we're going to do here is we're going to cut this can, our tuna can, in half. I'm calling it the tuna can, but we'll call it the cat food can, whatever. We're going to cut it in half, and how I'm going to try and do this is I'm going to start off by trying just to score it with this razor blade. I just have one of these razors, and I'm just going to continually twist it until I score a spot thin enough where I can just kind of hopefully pinch it and detach it. But I'm going to use a book on the table here to stabilize this edge and mark around the edge how high I want it, and then I'm going to find an appropriate book that I can use to score this with. So I'll kind of zoom in and show you what I'm doing as I do it. Okay guys, let me show you what I've done so far. So this was quite the hassle actually. If you had a Dremel, I think this would be easier. What I ended up doing is actually just using the razor blade to cut around the tomato paste can, and then I used a hole punch to create a couple on the bottom here. What these are, little half holes, see? Just cut it right there so that way when I pour in the alcohol in here, the alcohol flow through here into the wick, basically. And then I punched two of these holes up top actually as vent holes, so that when I set the pot on top, the air can still basically come in here and won't create a suction or, you know, push alcohol up through the bottom, which is what will happen if you don't have vent holes. And then what I did is I took this, it's a welder's cloth is what it is, and it's by Odie. You find this at your local hardware store. That was pretty pricey. I think it was like 18 bucks, and it's just a little cloth about yay big, and I've cut a strip out of it here. Like so. And so to finish it off, I've got my half tuna can, which I put the top half into the bottom half, right? So it looks about like that. I wasn't able quite to get it flush on this side. It's a little crooked there, but I'm not too concerned about it. This is, once again, this is just to basically provide support for the wick. It's kind of the base here. And I'm going to try and wrap this around and finagle it in there. I made it a little long on purpose because after you burn this a few times, the felt actually will start to shrink a little bit. So I've tried to basically make it a little bit thicker so that if it does shrink, it won't shrink so much that I can't just continue to slide it in there. So there we go. Let's see, make sure Make sure the wick is down nice and low. Just push that in there. Make sure the wick's all the way in. And I like kind of having a little bit of excess cloth because it kind of holds. This one is a little loose because it shrunk, and so it kind of wiggles around just a little bit, very easily comes in and out of there. So it's a really good stove. I made the smaller version now, and I can't tell if it's level or not. Looks pretty darn good. Perfect, no, but we'll get the job done. It looks good to me. So I'm gonna grab a little bit of alcohol and we'll test it out. Looks pretty stable too, because it's pretty short and a wide base. So the whole point of this is just to be about a cup's worth of water and not have to use this big size. See that? So there's the size difference, guys. Stay tuned and I'll get this lit up. Well guys, this has been Jake with another video from the NSB Woodsman channel. Please make sure you like or subscribe. If you want to see some more videos, you can maybe check out over here, or make sure you subscribe, as I mentioned before, over here. Alright, take it easy. See you next one.